H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. We're gonna take you on a roller coaster ride of sports, entertainment, and current events. We got unique situations going on today. It's so, I mean, we're absolutely packed today, Jimmy. You know, we had a weekend this weekend. They had the, what you call it, high school summer basketball. They had some big events this weekend. Some guys qualified to go to their season-ending events and everything. So, Jimmy, but where are we going to start? Jimmy, did you see, is what I know. My story today would be the EYBL, but my story today would be the Lakers dysfunction. That's the headline all over the news today. We got a special day, a guest coming on at the second half of the hour. But let me tell you something. What you got? What you got there, Jim?
No. Oh man, it's a lot of stuff we're gonna get into on today, and we got the R.J. Hampton news, of course the Lakers, and the article, the stunning article by Baxter Holmes, and also we're going to talk about a lot of the NCAA stuff that took place around over the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend. We had some news out of Kansas, the Jayhawks, and how about let's just get this out the way. And today's show, of course, will be dedicated, to a good friend of mine that happens to be a college coach, right? And his name is Howard Moore. So this past weekend, Howard Moore was in the vehicle with his wife and 2 kids, right? And they got into a car wreck and was hit by a suspected drunk driver. The wife, right, named Jennifer, the daughter, Jaden, were killed in the collision. This happened about 2 o'clock in the morning of Saturday. And they were right outside of Detroit on the way to Ann Arbor. Just horrible situation. And now he survived the crash along with his son. The wife and the daughter, passed away. So, and then how about this? Over the same weekend, one of the announcers for the Auburn Tigers was killed in the car wreck. And just one of those things where we take things for granted, guys, and a lot of things. I had a lot of conversations over the weekend. We're going to talk about the EYBL. We just tuned into the Chop Shop. We're going to talk about the Adidas event, youth sports events that took place, the Under Armour qualifier. And also, we had one team from Houston that traveled all the way to California and won first place in that event. We'll talk about them. And I'll tell you right now, Mario Ellie. Remember the kiss of death? That jump shot from the corner against the Phoenix Suns during that it helped personify Clutch City. Mario Ellie, his son plays on the team. He, along with his wife, Gina Gaston, she works for the local ABC affiliate as an anchor. They went down and took first place in the Compton Magic qualifier. Shout out to them. And so, and as Hatter, he's going to join us. He's going to join us shortly in a second. But meanwhile, I might just run through the roll call of the teams that took care of business from out of the greater Houston area, where the Chop Shop is based on the Power 101.5 FM. How about Basketball University, 17 and under, took first place in the championship division of the Adidas qualifier. They went 6-0, beat Team Harden in the championship. Shout out to Basketball University. How about the 16 and under Team Harden? took first place in their gold division, went 6-0, ran the table, right? And this team, and I went and watched them play. They beat some of the poor team by about 50. I said, I couldn't take them. I said, hell, I'm gone. I can't watch no more of that, right? And in the 15 and under division, Team Harden 15s made it to the championship game, but lost to the Marcus Smart YGC36 that are based out of Dallas. It was a great weekend for Texas teams in those qualifiers. Now, over across town, it was the EYB. Now, there's a difference, guys, between EYBL and EYB. EYBL is the Elite Youth Basketball League. That's only the 17 and under teams. EYB is Elite Youth Basketball. They've added a new, I guess, identification of the youth of the underclassmen leagues that Nike has, the grassroots division. They call it 16 under. They call it the E16 now. The 15 unders, they call them the E15 now. So in those two divisions, how about this for Texas? You have the top two teams from each pool advance in either the gold or the silver bracket. That's it. You come in third or fourth place, guess what? They give you don't get no trophy, no medal, no participation plaque. You get thank you for coming, get on home. That's old school basketball. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, in the 15 and under gold, Drive Nation took first place. That's the team based out of Dallas. Jermaine O'Neal, remember him? Played for the Pacers. He has a facility, guys, right on the property of the DFW airport. And I mean, you land off the plane, go right to the facility. They won first place in the 15 gold. In the 15 and under silver bracket, JL3 took first place. So once again, it's two Texas teams. These are teams from all over the country. The two Texas teams took care of business. Now, how about the 16 under division? Nike Team Pro Texas Pro Skills took first place in the silver bracket. 3 of the 4 brackets were won by Texas teams. Right? Okay, so now you move over to the EYBL portion of that event. Right? So guess what happens? We have 4 teams in the state of Texas that are sponsored by Nike in the EYBL. 4 teams. The Texas Titans, Drive Nation, Pro Skills, and the Houston Hoops. Of those 4 teams, 3 of the 4 qualified for Peach Jam. Peach Jam is known as Nike Nationals. It's the national championships. You have to qualify to get in that. They put like 10 teams in 4 different divisions, and the top 5 of those 10 automatically advance to Peach Jam. Then they will add another 4 teams at large. At large meaning that, kind of like a couple of years back when Marvin Bagley played on the team. They didn't win but 2 games in the EYBL, but his team got an at-large bid because he's a draw, because college coaches will come out and watch. It's a live event. Live means Division I coaches are permitted to attend and evaluate. Right? So, shout out to all 3 of the Texas-based teams who qualified for Peach Jam, and we'll talk more about that in depth later on in the show. And I'm talking, we're gonna go through it because we was on location. The Chop Shop was in the building, and we were in the building, vipped up.
What's vipped up?
I mean, you got to get with those youngsters. They say back in the days they had a little song when one of the hook lines was draped up, dripped out. Know what I'm talking about? Well, we were vipped up.
Yeah, but I missed the VIP part.
VIP.
Oh, stop! I like that all the time.
Vipped up.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. At one point on Saturday, one of the guys said the fire marshal, because a young man had took a spill on the floor and had to call the ambulance.
Okay.
Or as I say from my fearful oneism, the
ambulance.
So they called the ambulance, right? And as they were coming, the people were so caked in the aisles that the antidote, they didn't have a clear path to get to the court. So that teased off the EMS personnel. They went and called their bosses and let their bosses know, and within 10 minutes the fire marshal was there to stop letting people in. That's when you called me. It was like, you say somebody told you.
No, it wasn't. Oh, he was hurt that.
Yeah,
he was already in.
No, but you didn't know where I was. You remember you said somebody told you?
Somebody said they left from another facility where you were at, and they said, well, Jimmy might have a problem getting in. I said, Jimmy ain't gonna have no problem getting in. But he forgot you was a VIP.
That's what it is. Why?
Yeah. I don't really understand these guys, man. They must. I think they think we them.
No, I mean
nothing against them, but if you don't know Jimmy, you just don't know.
All these years.
I'm gonna leave it.
All these years. Now, but anyway, we're gonna talk more about the EY building and I guess and pull back some layers of what some of the players, some of the actions, some of the people who caught eyes and who made waves over the weekend at the EYBL. And last but not least, I got over to the Gasso and saw Team Fam and supported those guys play against the Dallas Showtime. Shout out to Big E up in Dallas. Also got a chance to see Moody A. Elite. I saw Jazzy. I saw Jazzy. I spoke with Jazzy. Saw him for a little while. We talked on Sunday. And once again, I had a conversation with Emmanuel Moody.
Okay. His cousin played for that team, the Renaissance team.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, he decent.
Yeah. He had 43 in one
game. But I ain't hear about another guy. But you know what? I got we're going to tie this because I got my new guy.
Guess what? There's rumors about that young man possibly moving into Texas. I share that news with you. And also, what team does Emmanuel Moody expect to play with next season? We'll tell you about that and a lot more on the Chop Shop. You guys hang right there.
So you didn't notice that? You didn't notice that we were so close together like that? That should. No, you got the movie camera. I'm talking about from the beginning. From the beginning, make sure that you know that's. So now you know we got to be how it got to be. So did you get everything else right over there? Everything else good?
Camera was nice, man. Clear.
All right, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? What's going on? Getting in gear. Got new things for you guys. Hey, now once again, if you see down at the bottom of the screen, you see the logos and the words. You'll be able to put your small business logo right on the screen.
If you have a large business too, Jimmy, don't just say boss. If you got a large business.
You take a large one too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Check those quite fast.
No, I just, nothing small over here.
Your business logo can go at the bottom of the screen. That's cool. Just look, down there right now. So just think about, as people watching, that can increase your visibility. I'm telling you, and we will work with all you guys to help you get your business out. And Darryl Anderson, if you're watching, I forgot to email you back. Promise to do so today. Yesterday was Memorial Day. I went and got them crawfish in my hand. It wasn't no way for me to get to the computer. No way to get that and get that done.
What up there, Kevin Freedman? Kevin Allen, what's up, man? Where you been? Man, happy Memorial Day. Yesterday to all the servicemen and women, we appreciate you and thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. We just really appreciate you. I know, we're in a crazy climate right now. We got a different kind of commander-in-chief. I say editor-in-chief. And but we appreciate you. We appreciate it. But I had a great time this weekend, man, in Dallas. Great time. That is not the way I would have loved to to spend my Memorial Day, but it was okay. It was okay. Because I had friends in Aruba and all over the country sending me pictures back. So my man, where you at? And guess where I was at? In the gym, watching basketball. What's up, Troy Pradia? What's going on? Troy's on the line right now, Jimmy.
What's going on, Troy?
Todd, what's up, Todd? Where you been? Okay, fine, I got it. Well, welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. Jim gave you before we're broadcasting on the Power 101.5 in Houston, Texas. But guess what? You can watch us if you own the radio, and if you got a smart device or a computer. When you get home, don't do it while you're in your car. Go to Facebook, type in ChopShopHTX, and you can see us live in studio. So we're gonna take you on. Jimmy? What's our next topic? Because
next topic we dive right into.
What you want to dive
into?
into?
We talk about the situation with the Lakers and this article.
Yeah, that's national news.
That's national news.
Okay.
And it was an article by a young man, Baxter Holmes. This is not your regular 600-word article. This thing was like 12 pages.
I'm gonna warn you, I haven't read it.
You haven't read it?
But no, but I'm able to talk about it because I know a lot about it. But because a lot of stuff.
What we do is we just dive.
No,
We just
dive
across
in.
it.
Give me some points and I work with
One
it.
of the things about the in the article, he basically, if I had to go and he went and provided some quotes from and kept some of his sources anonymous from a lot of the workers within the Lakers organization.
Mm-hmm.
And he concluded, or he insinuated that the manager, Jeannie Bush, start from the top, is an owner in absentee. He's also insinuated that Magic Johnson was one of those bully type managers, was arrogant and bullyish. Walked in the door during the first meeting, and I'll greet you this: the day that Magic and Rob Pelinka addressed the 30 or so staffers on this particular day when he first got the job. He said he set the tone with these remarks. He said he made it clear that he didn't accept excuses or mistakes, and that those who weren't on board with the new management and their mission should leave. This was during the meeting, right? And so during the meeting, Matt Johnson also pointed like upstairs to his office, where his new office would be. You know, you point towards the tiles in the ceiling, and he says, he had a large stack of resumes sitting on his desk, and they quoted 1,000 of them. Multiple staffers recall him saying, and he could replace any of them at any time. He said it was shocking. One of the Lakers coaching staff members who was present. If you're going to be in this business, you bring enough pressure on yourself. You don't need more pressure, especially from someone who's supposed to be an ally. That's the Laker former assistant coach talking of Magic Johnson in this. Now remember, these guys have been fired, so they don't have no problem. No sharing.
Nothing worse than a woman scorned, but keep on going.
And so this was just, and then he goes on. At that time, that's when the Lakers had coined the term Lakers 2.0. You know, that was going to be their campaign.
So your new boss come in and just said, man, it's not going to be ran like it used to be, right? Ain't that what he said? In other words, I'm not, Jimmy, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, but keep on going. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and he goes and he says, so then you fast forward until April the 9th at the press conference when Magic announced that he was laying it down. He cited backstabbing and whispering as reasons for his abrupt departure. And you know, this once again, I'm reading some of the excerpts from the article that's posted on ESPN by the writer Baxter Holmes. and it's called the Lakers 2.0, the failed reboot of NBA's crown jewel. So in this thing, he also accuses LeBron James and his agent of having a lot more assets around the Lakers administration than any time in the past, anyone in the past have had. However, now, at the same time, the Lakers going into this new regime of Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka were behind most of the NBA in that department. I mean, they weren't even at par. So if you start giving access, then basically you're doing what you're no different than probably Steph Curry's agent or Russell Westbrook's agent and or James Harden's agent, well, which was Rob Pelinka at the time before he went to the Lakers. But he goes and he says, I'm gonna read another quote from this. He said, this is from the article. Say these sources who feared reprisal and weren't authorized to speak publicly described Pelinka and Johnson as managers who made unilateral free agent acquisitions, triggered a spate of tampering investigation and fines, berated staffers, including the ex-coach Walton, and created an in-house culture that many current and former longtime staffers said marginalized their colleagues, inspired fear, and led to feelings of anxiety severe enough that at least 2 staffers suffered panic attacks. And one staffer privately confided, it's effing crazy over there. So once again, the Lakers.
What I found out, just being in this business for so long, the team, all you got to do is look at the losing teams and go look at their management. The teams that perennial losers, you go look at their management. That's one of the reasons when Steve Ballmer came in, you know, he pried Jerry West from Golden State. You wanted to get a guy like Doc Rivers, make sure had a guy like Doc Rivers, Lawrence Frank. What you do, man, it matters from the top. Look, just go and just do me a favor, just go and everybody, just go look at the losing team. You know, it was with 16 teams made the playoffs and the other ones didn't. Go look at those guys who perennially, like the Lakers. The Lakers hadn't been to the playoffs in 7 years. Now you see why. Now they what they said, they took you behind the purple curtain. Yep. So I think it's a great thing because sometimes you got to step back, Jimmy, to move forward. You know, sometimes you got to step back to make a comeback. So, but Jeannie Buss, you know, you got to remember now, these kids, the Buss family, they didn't work for this. They had inherited this. You follow me? James Dolan, another guy who inherited the team from his dad. Look at that. Now, the Knicks, now that front office, you can arguably say that's one of the best front offices in the league right now. So they just got to figure out, if I was a free agent, Jimmy, all I'm saying, if people out there, if you was a free agent, would you send your player there? So my advice to the Lakers, man, use your assets, whatever you got now, to make trades. Because if you sit back and wait and think Magic Johnson or LeBron gonna bail you out, these free agents, I'm telling you, the agents calling it, they say, man, that's a horror house over there. So guess what? A lot of people, would you go if that's what, you know, if it was your client, would you send him there? So, I mean, you know, it's just ineptness, Jimmy. I mean, you got a woman that Jeannie Buss, not that she's a woman, but she had to take over from her brother because her brother was running the franchise into the ground. And I guess what? They all went to the same schools because they both running the program and the franchise. And y'all got to realize, this is one of the most valuable franchises on the planet, value-wise.
Well, and absolutely. I mean, it is the most profitable, as Magic Johnson stated when he was on First Take a couple of weeks ago with the bombshell interview, that the Lakers still didn't make the playoffs for 6 years, right? And they still are number one in jersey sales in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, of all the teams.
I'm gonna take you another perspective. Their TV rights, their local TV rights, right? With Spectrum, I think it's Spectrum Sports. That's worth more in a day. The Lakers get more in one day than the Memphis Grizzlies get in their local TV rights for a whole year, Jimmy. That's how valuable this franchise. One day, they make more than the Grizzlies make all year.
Now, to go back, we're talking about the Lakers now, just tuning into the Chop Shop. And if you are in your vehicle, when you get to where you're going, make sure you go over to Facebook and check out our Boom Boom Room. Simply type in ChopShopHTX on your Facebook page, and you not only can watch us, we're streaming live, but you also can engage and interact with a lot of the viewers out there abroad. Shout out to Ashley Jones out there.
What's up, Ashley?
One of the viewers out there watching. And also Kevin Freitman, who's at work right now. Desiree Benson. I see all you guys on there and a lot more. Now, how about this? Magic Johnson, right? He does not get a pass because he was in the middle of this. He kind of knew what he was getting into. Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka wasn't buddies before he took the job. He just Magic probably had no idea because it was a power grab.
So tell me why he's playing. Give me.
Here's the deal.
Give me.
Okay.
Not about the article now. You talking about the article?
No.
What the article saying?
Well, the article, you know where they're going.
Okay.
But check this out. I'm extracting some things from the article and placing it on the plate, and you guys can put it in the microwave and warm it up yourself.
Okay.
And we can see how this thing digests. Okay. Remember this. Right after, before this season, right? The administration, the management, Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, they went and got Ray John Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, and Michael Beasley. And this is one of the coaching staff members. He says, we all had the same reaction as the basketball world. Like, what the F are we doing? Not only are we getting some good shooting, but we also getting every basket case left on the market. And look what happened with all four of those guys.
Magic took the blame for it.
Exactly.
Took the blame for it.
So we'll come right back to team talking about this thing. Because guess what? There's some other stuff that came out of this article that's going to open your eyes.
So let's make it happen.
Chop Shop, be right back.
Desiree, Terrence Hicks. What's up, baby? Who else we got? Laurie, Brad Austin. Who else we got on there? Let me see. Eric Barnes. I think Stacey Houston might be still on there. I don't know. He popped on. He might have popped out. What's up, everybody? What you got going on out there? Jimmy, somebody was talking about what is about the racist rep.
I told I saw.
You heard about the racist.
I saw Frank Young post that, and so I'm asking Frank Young to send us a link.
Yeah, because we just don't want to talk about what you're talking about.
I was out of town.
Send us 2 links because we want to have more than one source. Magic coming there cussing everybody out in that joint, Jim.
Yeah. I mean,
Magic don't be like that, Magic. I'm a nice person, Magic. He just left. What I'm trying to do. And we broadcasted 2 simultaneously, Jimmy, on YouTube. I don't know if you know it or not.
Yeah, I saw that 2 screens. So
I got we got some people over there. See, because I found out a lot of people don't have Facebook. So guess what? Tell them to go catch the Chop Shop HTX on YouTube. Tell me how to look over there. I'm trying to see how I get to them. I don't know how to react to them. I'm trying to figure it out, y'all. Trying to figure it out. Yeah, but we over there somewhere.
somebody took in the next break.
You don't want to blow out my right on my head.
No, shoot, I don't know where it's blowing from.
I got you.
Bring me a blanket. Y'all gonna have me calling every few minutes in this joint. What should the Rockets do to win it all? You come back. The Rockets do to win it all.
To win what all? Shit.
I tell you one thing, you see they fired all the coaching staff, don't you?
Welcome back to the Chop Shop. 36 minutes past the hour. 36 minutes past the hour. If you're on their lunch break right now, guess what? You bring something by the studios, you know.
No.
Me and Hannah take care of it.
I ain't bringing none. Don't bring me none. Unless you DoorDash.
That's the who?
Yeah, you DoorDash. I don't want nobody to
You
bring
don't
me
trust
none.
DoorDash?
I trust the
You
DoorDash.
saw some of the stuff them eating delivery services have been doing.
What they been doing? Tell me right now, because I'll stop it tomorrow.
I'll tell you out there.
Tell me, no, don't tell me on there.
No, I want to make sure I call the right one out.
Okay.
Because there are different ones.
Give me,
you don't
give me,
want to
give me, what they
don't
be
want to
doing?
slander the wrong
What they
one.
be doing? Put boogers in your stuff? What they
No.
be doing? Okay, come on. Come on.
That won't be the first time many folk out there eat one. But anyway, we're talking about the article, this explosive article that was posted on ESPN this morning about the Lakers 2.0, the failed reboot of the NBA's crown jewel. And this article was written by Baxter Holmes. And how about this?
Oh, Baxter getting famous today.
Oh, and that's how you do so. Because understand now, the article's on ESPN, so the networks, the shows that pretty much curtailed and promoted the article was on ESPN, on that network. So they're just looking out for the label man. And we're mentioning to you about the hires, the acquisitions of Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, and Michael Beasley. And of course, Magic Johnson took credit for messing that up. I mean, and because all four of those guys,
He took Magic messed what up?
I mean, not messing it up, but took credit for those acquisitions.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Especially when he let Brooke Lopez go. He said, man, I messed that one.
He confessed that on the
He said that because he got JaVale McGee.
And JaVale McGee was their starter, you know, in the front court.
Jimmy, that's why I keep telling you when you go talking about starters, man. Sometimes you just can be in the right place at the right time.
Well, that's all over the league.
Yeah.
He went from heavy trash to a starter. That's what he was at Golden State.
What my man said? Cardboard.
Cardboard.
Okay.
Wet cardboard.
Wet cardboard.
Now here's another quote. He says that and people in basketball operations said Pelinka and Magic Johnson made the signings while seeking little or no consultation from them. This is from the people in basketball operations. Even foregoing gathering intel from the staffers, like the scouts and whatnot, who had previously worked with some of the players they had signed.
Well, that's negligence, right? If that's true, that's negligence.
And understand, for an example, that means if you had a player that was a member of the team or a coach that was a member of an organization at the same time that either Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, or Michael Beasley played in, they can give you intel a lot of the times on some things that goes beyond the court as to how much are they smoking, how much are they partying, how much of a liability would it be, how good are they in the locker room.
Right.
You know, and so that's some breaking news.
No, that ain't breaking. We bet that, but that's not no breaking news. No, I'm not gonna break that news.
Next segment, but
Zero.
But this stuff, understand. So this is really damaging. If indeed the administration were taking up on hires, and you think about it, as they labeled those four guys, every basket case left on the market. Remember, guys, Michael Beasley had his problems. JaVale McGee had his
But
problems.
Jimmy, it was all 1 year deals. He was just trying to serve.
Yeah, but you brought them in at the same time.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
the thing.
And guess what? They all gonna be gone at the same time.
Yeah.
And Magic left with them. So guess what? Hey,
That's 1/3 of your roster.
you know what the crazy thing about this? I don't think Magic missed this.
Well, not right now.
Me personally, I just don't think he missed it.
And how about this? In the article, it also it paints a picture of a scenario where Adam Silver was meeting with Maverick Carter. He's one of the associates of LeBron James at a restaurant.
And Rich Paul too.
Rich Paul was sitting at a table nearby.
Okay.
You ever been to the meeting and we rolling together, but I got this meeting. You can come in and sit over at the table over there at the bar.
Yeah.
And then I'm
you know why? No, really.
Because technically he couldn't meet with the agent.
Yeah, I don't think he couldn't be met with him. But him and Maverick was talking about entertainment business. Because, Silver is the entertainment guru.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they told Rich Paul, homeboy, you stay over there. This the big dogs meeting over here right now. That probably what.
And during that meeting, that is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who, if I'm just saying, let's say if Maverick Carter's at the table,
okay,
Adam Silver's at the table, okay, they don't say who else was at that table, right?
Okay.
So who's the fly? Who's the
snitch?
Who's the fly on the soup? As they say on the
But then somebody could just see them there.
But but they gave some.
But what if those quotes? I mean, they can see them there. I can see you and Dodo at the day, and I can just make up something.
Well, unless Adam Silver went back and told somebody one of his right hand men.
I don't think he did.
Now, in this conversation, they're accusing Rich Paul of going up to Adam Silver at the table and joining them later on and mentioning.
Gotta get Luke out of here.
That his disdain for Luke.
I don't know why he would do that.
Sorry, for Luke Walton.
Luke Walton. I don't know. Jimmy, I find that hard to believe.
Well, then they have evidence of him, not evidence, but they have suspicions afterwards of Rich Paul attending some of the Lakers practices, and you can feel that somebody's kind of
watching you.
Yeah, scouting you.
But no,
evaluate. This is before LeBron James came. This was before LeBron.
Yeah, because he had Caldwell Pope.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were also teed off about, speaking of Caldwell Pope, you remember the time, you guys may not remember, he had got a misdemeanor conviction. And his sentence was 25 days or somewhat in a detention facility, but they let him come out for practice and games at home. He missed a total of 4 games during this time with the Lakers during this. Remember, he played the game with an ankle monitor on.
Yeah.
A lot of you, he the first player.
He had a domestic problem, man.
But his agent was who?
Rich Paul.
Right?
But no.
So people were teed off about this in administration because they said that normally
before he even came. You remember the story I broke to you? Before Caldwell Pope ever came, when they signed him as a free agent. Do you know you remember what I told you Rob Pelinka said at the press conference? About Contavious Caldwell Pope. This is what he said in the press conference. Y'all go find that. Go Google that one up. Get what he said. Man, I feel like this is divine. It's like manna from heaven. We got Contavious Caldwell Pope. Jimmy, he said that was divine. But what he was saying, if I get him, LeBron coming next.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, hey, this dude ain't that good.
Well, most of the teams in the league would have placed Caldwell Pope on suspension while he serves this.
Yeah.
This, and they said, and their
oh, I see what you're saying.
Their I guess response, the Lakers' response at the time was they're helping him complete his own work release. So they're allow him to complete his work release requirement, which is so. You're talking about a team that's not in the playoff hunt at the time. He's coming home to play, and those games were nationally televised.
Dodo, what was he in jail for? Find out what he was in jail for. Huh?
And I mean so now we're talking about excerpts from the article that's posted on ESPN, the Lakers 2.0.
Oh yeah, DUI charge. Jimmy is right there. DUI. I thought it was domestic. I'm sorry. Sorry, Caldwell Pope. DUI charge.
And of course, Baxter Holmes is the author of this article. It's a long article. Here's another example that's from the article.
Boy, you got some examples.
3 people close to James are listed in the Los Angeles Lakers staff directory as employees. Did you know that? 3.
I know Randy.
Not one.
No, I know Randy and his security. It's got to be one more.
So Randy, his title is personal security officer of the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's Randy.
No, that's Robert Brown.
Robert Brown, that's the guy to be with it. Yeah. Who Randy is what?
Randy is the executive administrator the player program, and logistics.
That's a lot.
That
Okay.
mean you
Jim,
in charge of letting
Jim.
everybody know what restaurant you gonna go to
No,
after
Jim,
the game.
Jim, I got a voice. I got a voice. What's an acronym? That's a long acronym.
It gave my acronym.
Yeah, that's a long one. So now who's the other guy?
Another one
Who's
is
that?
Mike Mancias. Mike Mancias. His title is athletic trainer and
he can
athletic
work out.
performance
Okay, he's
liaison.
working. So his workout guy, his best friend, and his security guard.
All get checks
Yes,
from the Lakers.
But
So
them
have to
same
come-
guys got checks from
They don't-
Cleveland, so don't get it twisted.
They don't have to get checks from LeBron. So that's a big thing.
Are they getting checks from LeBron too?
No. You fair to me. You ain't gotta. You out your pocket.
Hey,
They
they get checks from LeBron too.
out your pocket. I got
Yeah.
you with the Lakers. They check. And ironically, as you just stated, all three of those were on the payroll of the Cleveland Cavaliers while LeBron played for them during the second stint.
LeBron got a good thing going on, man. Keep going.
Yeah.
I like this stuff. He got hey, now all you other players, you can't copy this. You got to be great to get this done.
Better than great.
You
You gotta be marketable. You gotta be worth
No, Jim, you got to be a transcendent talent.
a $1 billion investment. That's what you have to be.
Yeah, you can't. Because everybody told me, I'm going to be like LeBron James. Boy, you better be better than LeBron James.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. This article.
That's unbelievable. I like
that's
that.
enough
Great
on that.
article, man.
Well,
Yeah,
we
that's
can
enough on
dive
that.
in more. That's enough on that.
Yeah.
There's so much more in that. You go to ESPN and check the article out.
The link show.
And of course, we're looking at.
Okay.
I mean, we got so much stuff to get into, but we got.
Pat Riley, hey, yeah, who is that said? Andy Favre said Pat Riley wasn't having that. And you right about it. That's why LeBron got mad at him. You don't have free reign for these guys to walk in and out of this American Airlines Center.
Mm-hmm.
They got to have a ticket like everybody else. What, D-Wade? You ain't D-Wade. Pat Riley said, yes, you ain't D-Wade. So LeBron said, I got to get out of here, man.
Well, that's this thing is popping, and of course we got some more NBA talk when we come right back.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA Finals is set.
Oh, yes.
Over the weekend, Toronto Raptors took care of business at home against the Milwaukee Bucks, and now on Thursday, the Finals game 1, Toronto Golden State. How many games will it last?
Jimmy,
4,
Jimmy.
5, 6, or 7?
Jimmy, I got an interesting thing
What's that?
on your series.
You got one?
I got one for you when we get back. Chop, chop. We'll be back in a minute. I got a good one for you. I think I got one. What up, Favre? What up? Good seeing you, Favre. Man, I finally met Favre brother. Favre brother cooler than Favre, man. Huh? I like Favre brother. He cooler than you, Favre. Who else we got? Martin Brooks. He said, I heard you do. Hey, did y'all see where the Rockets fired Herb Rowland? They fired James Harden's man, the workout dude. Jimmy, you got to help him. Connect that dot. You was a good dot connected behind. Connect that dot for me.
Say, I can give you my theory.
Baby, see, they got some water. I saw Paul and Jill around. Nope. Yeah. He's that's my baby right here. So I think I saved that thing in there. If not, I got to figure it out because that's my personal one. I got to figure out how to just make it. Oh, we had a problem in the beginning. Okay. Well, I know you can't wait. What time? What time is it? I know you can't wait to get the talk. Hold on, wait a minute. What's my man's name, man?
Who's that?
All I got here. I'm gonna tell you.
I ain't got the names in there. I left the roster in there. Which player?
I got him. You was about to talk about my dude. Ruffin.
Oh yeah, Ruffin got him in. 50.
Let me see what Ruffin. Foster. What's Foster's whole name? That player that plays for the Macker. You got a rock. You ain't got the rock. I look it up. Macker. Let me look at EYBL. EYBL.
Oh, Matt Green on the big fella?
Number 5.
Foster, Mark Foster.
Oh, what is
Mike
that? Mark? Mike? Which one?
Michael Foster. Jr.
Mike Foster.
Oh
Michael
my,
Foster.
hey, Dodo, yes.
But the next game, after that game?
I don't care about that.
But yeah, I mean, all they gotta get bundled together though. The next game,
What is it?
lay the egg.
Well, yeah.
Hey, man. No, but you gotta, you know,
Jackson, Mississippi. I know Freight was gonna say, Freight, that's my dude, Freight. Freight. Mike Foster. Freight, that's my dude. That's Ruffin. Hey, y'all, I was watching 2 games when Ruffin was playing. I'm trying to find his whole name. Because I got a whole notebook on Ruffin. Deshaun Ruffin. Deshaun Ruffin, that's his name. Man, y'all better Google that name. Impressive. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, broadcasting on the Power 101.5 FM. But Jimmy, where we going from here?
well, I mean, we got NBA news. We get some more.
We got some more.
And that
You
is-
want to keep on NBA on that?
Well,
Let's NBA on that.
I mean, 'cause this is. It may not seem like much, but this is really, this guy. You know, a lot of people in the circles of basketball in the pro ranks know him, and you know he's worked his way through, and now has been awarded as the president of the NBA's new Basketball Africa League. And that's Amadou Fall. Amadou used to work with the Dallas Mavericks.
I remember that name.
And he's a tall African guy. He held the tallest scout that they had with the Mavericks. And now, you know, he's been, you know, in the NBA's efforts toward the basketball without borders, and that and you got Mutombo get involved, and with Africa, because of the influx of so many of those young men who came over to the United States and have found a place in our collegiate ranks and our professional ranks in the USA. So now, guess what? In other words, it's all in them their heels. So they're going to start a league in Africa. And this league, they're going to do camps. I mean, this is to help cultivate the talent and season the meat for the NBA. This is good news for international, especially those in Africa, but it's not good news for abroad, because these guys, they're going to put some resources up under this. And you know.
So it's good news for who?
It's good news for internationally, especially for Africa.
Okay.
Because
but who is it bad news for?
It's not necessarily bad news, but it's not good news for American amateur players, because this is going to help identify more prospects for the NBA drafts. You see, eventually.
So you think it's going to hurt America?
The long-term gain, yes, is to help produce more NBA-ready players. And they're going to anoint them, because the NBA is the muscle behind this league. And just think about it, they're not out there just filling their thumbs with this stuff. And a guy like Amadou is going to make sure. So
let's see how it works.
I mean, so all eyes will be on this project.
I got a question. No, keep going.
They're gonna start playing in 2020 with 12 initial teams around the continent. Remember, guys, Africa is not a country. It's a continent.
Yes, the whole enchilada.
So that's like, understand, that's like Canada,
North
United
America,
States,
North
and Mexico
America, yeah.
put together.
North America.
Not necessarily in square miles, but it's a continent. And a lot of people think they look at Africa like, you know, no, no, it's not a country. This is big. This is going to be huge. And of course, they're going to expect to play a 45-game season.
That's good.
And those cities, the top cities, will be represented in Angola, Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal.
I got a question.
South Africa and Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
But let me show you something. I'm going to show you something so unique. You know, when we go over there, American players go over there, you know, we have a limit of how many players, 2 per team, American players. Why is not a limit on how many foreign players we can have on a team over there?
That lets you know how America is trying to
why is not a limit?
Dip their cup. But first of all, a lot of those guys aren't good enough, so to where you have to make a limit. The limit will hurt your local economy if you have, you know, all you can eat, a buffet of American players on those foreign rosters. you got so, and it balances it off.
Ashley says it's going to be Ashley Jones on the Facebook page. She said it's going to be 50-year-old guys in the draft from Africa acting like they're 25. She ain't. Jimmy. She's got a great point. She's got an awesome point.
I mean, it's
you know they would doctor up.
You know what? And speaking of the age thing, if they wanted to, they could curb it. But there's been things that the NBA have done to prove that they'd rather just hit a rock and turn the other way when it comes to the age thing. The latest one is the Thon Maker come into question, remember? And a lot of these guys, I really believe, remember it was one young man a couple of years back that played it came to the Nike event, the Elite 100.
Yeah, killed everybody that was 100 years old. Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
Yeah. He came, and this was only for 9th and 10th graders, guys.
That's right.
He came, this is before Twitter blasted off. This is before Facebook blasted off. Back then, all you had was MySpace. And this guy came, and he lit the camp on fire. And everybody was like, everybody was feeling like we had found a gem. like this kid, his name was John, I can't think of the last name right, it'll come to me shortly. But John that came, he was about 7'2". And boy, he was getting it in.
He was 7'2" too?
Yeah,
7'2" and old?
Well, he's about 7 foot. They say 7 foot to be safe.
When they down in Florida, is that the thing down in Florida?
No, he based out of New York.
No, I'm talking about, was that the tournament?
No, this was at night at the Elite 100.
Oh, the Elite 100, okay.
Back then it was called Hoop Jamboree.
Okay.
And I don't think it was Elite, they had changed the name to Elite 100 yet. So this young man came, he tears it up, and then that means everybody wrote about him after the event. That gave him more eyes were on him. Then finally somebody was like, wait a minute. We went to learn that this guy was like 24 years old. 24 years old. You know, he got it ruled eligible for college.
What they said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's the way. So where you want to get?
Speaking of we talking about collegiate ranks and ruling eligible.
We talking about players coming over here. We got a player.
Well, we got.
You want to go there first?
Yeah,
we
talk about the Africa guys. Another African,
Okay.
Sergio De Sousa from the University of Kansas.
No, I don't think he's from Africa.
De Sousa?
No, I don't think he is.
Check that out.
Yeah,
Check that out. I thought he was.
But keep going.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
He got good news on this past weekend. That this is the young man it's been ruled ineligible to play at Kansas on the basketball team. Remember, this is also the young man who forego he gave up. He was at IMG at one of the schools in Florida. Gave up his eligibility as in high school to go and enroll at Kansas at the Christmas break 2 seasons ago. Right? Sit out a half a year. Right? The stuff was coming up. The NCAA corruption scandals were right at the tip of the iceberg, and he was also ruled not eligible to play this past season. So now that means this young man, his whole entire career as an amateur was jeopardized. He won his appeal, and which was the decision was handed down back in February.
He's African, you're right, keep going.
Right? And he will be able to play next season for the Kansas Jayhawks. Also with Kansas, a lot of people are speculating that Devin Dotson may return and come back to school.
How was his workouts? Well, I hear nobody.
I mean, it was good, but then sometimes good is not good enough. But that's the room, So now Kansas. Speaking of Kansas, they were also one of the schools that were the final 3 for R.J. Hampton, along with Memphis and Texas Tech. This morning, R.J. Hampton is from Dallas. Little Elm High School announced his decision among what he was going to do after high school, and that decision was presented live on the Get Up, which airs on ESPN. And R.J. Hampton announced that he's going to play professionally and not even attend college as a student athlete at Kansas, at Memphis, North Texas Tech. He's going to go to New Zealand and play with the New Zealand Breakers
Yeah.
of the Australian National Basketball League, that's known as the NBL.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now RJ will become the first American to willingly, that's part of the narrative now. We got that's being painted. To willingly forego college for playing international basketball. Why? What do they mean by willingly? Well, RJ Hampton is not he's not the target of any type of NCAA investigation for academics.
And his academic score, he could have gotten Stanford with his
A
score.
1280 SAT,
Yeah.
a 3.7
Yeah.
GPA. Once again, a 1280 SAT and a 3.7 GPA is what RJ Hampton what he possesses at this past year at Little Elm High School, which is a suburb of Dallas.
Yes.
So you are
On the north side.
on the north side. So in this thing right here, I read one of the quotes from RJ.
Let me read one from it.
Okay, what
he
you
said,
got?
He was talking about, he said Luka Doncic is one of my favorite players to watch. Seeing how he came into the NBA shows you that you don't have to go to college to be successful. That's one of the quotes he said.
What you think about that? You don't have to go to college to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what he's saying. If Luka can do it, you know what I love about the Hamptons? They always do it their way, and they always do stuff to, like Frankie Sinatra. He said he did it my way, and they always go against the grain. I mean, Jimmy, it was so unique. The other day, I was in the. I'm gonna finish. I walked into the EYBL the other day. RJ don't play in the EYBL no more, right?
No, not since he only played one segment.
section.
That was at the end of April.
So when they walk in, I walk in with him, by him. Jimmy, they had a camera crew following the EYBL's camera crew. Stopped following the guys that's playing, and came and mic'd Rod up and RJ up, and watched him and mic'd him up, and watched him watching Drive Nation and watched him watching the Titans play. I thought that was unique, and they was talking, they was building up to what's his decision gonna be, and I guess he shocked everybody because a lot of people, I know, got 10 seconds left. A lot of people thought he was gonna go to school, but he's going to take his talents to New Zealand, a beautiful place too.
Oh man.
Yes,
Indeed.
Chop Chop. We'll be back in a minute. Boy, I got one for you. What's up?
What's up, man? How you
What's up? 4 Point Izzo into his house.
How you doing,
What's up,
man?
baby?
Good.
Have a seat, baby.
All right, thank you.
Hold up.
How you doing, Mr. E?
What's going on, Henry?
Good. A nice setup.
My man. Henry in the house.
Oh, there it is. You know what I'm saying? Just get like the instrumental part. Because everybody know what it is. What up out there, y'all? What's that? We sure did.
Yeah. When we come back. No, the screen.
Oh, but you got it fixed up though, right? Well, all you gotta do is switch it. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. Say no more. What else going on?
Now the RJ thing, we gonna
Let's go finish on that.
we come back and
finish
get
it on now. No, you can finish it on now.
we can let Henry chime in on that.
Okay, Henry, want to chime in?
Let Henry. I know he got to look in his eye, like he got to take about it.
What's your take, Jimbo? Oh yeah, that's what you
Well,
want. I know you got to take.
Well,
Ain't no way in the world your ass
Oh, I
ain't
got to take on it. I got to take on it. I'm
I ain't got no take really.
Yeah, I definitely got to take on it. I share my take with you guys.
Okay.
Just a second. We about to get ready.
What's y'all take? I don't see y'all's takes on here. He said he would do this. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's a 1 year deal. Yeah, it's a 1 year deal with a second year option. How much will RJ make? Everybody want to know about that money though.
They want to fight this break. We're officially on the back nine, the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. We're talking, going into the break, about the young man, the young high school student athlete who decided this morning he is not going to college. He's going straight overseas to New Zealand to get that bag, and he will play there. And this is RJ Hampton. We've had him in the studio, the Chop Shop, last year.
His whole family.
And the entire family.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was on and joined us about 2 weeks ago on the show via telephone. And today was his day. Once again, RJ Hampton is going to New Zealand to play in the Australian National Basketball League.
Did you see what he had on his man?
He had the bow tie.
No, he had a blue suit on. So that blue suit could have been Kansas or Memphis.
Oh, really?
No, I can't believe you didn't pick up on that.
That's what it could have been?
Yeah, think about it, Kansas or Memphis. So both of them blue.
With a blue with a tie, with a black tie.
Yeah, bow tie. Yeah,
Black tie could have been Texas Tech.
No, blue bow tie.
That was blue?
Blue bow tie.
I gotta change the hue.
Your TV, dude, you gotta get your smart TV. Come on. You smart, get your smart TV.
I just changed the tint. On my TV. Let me go how it goes.
I don't even know what a tint button is now, though. Oh my
Now,
goodness.
here's something that RJ said. And we have a guest joining us in the studio. Tim, we're going to get his thoughts
We got
on
a
it.
guest?
Yes, live in studio with us is Henry Kakula of 4.0 GPA. And Henry Kakula, you guys, he's the Harriet Tubman of getting regular students and connecting them with scholarships and saving them money on college expenses. That's what he does. You know, you got some guys that specialize in connecting guys with D2s and D3s, or connecting people with, some people got in trouble, went and got indicted for trying to connect people with coaches on staff to get them on teams who didn't even play sports. But in this situation, Henry Kakula, he's proven to be successful. And he was recently named the Houston Business Journal, right, to their 40 under 40 list of the 2019. He's a recipient, and he won first place in the Cricket Wellness National Business Competition this year, right? He provides at 4.0 GPA, he provides college career readiness support and tutoring for students, especially those who are based in the greater Houston area. So without further ado, Henry Kakula, what's going on, man? Welcome to the Chop Shop. I see you up in here, buddy. What's going on?
Thank you for having me back.
Now,
What's up?
we get right into it with 4.0 GPA. But first, I want your thoughts. Well, I'm going to provide a quote from RJ Hampton and his decision this morning. He says, about college. Both of my parents went to college. Of course, his dad played at SMU back in the days, right? Say, my mom got her master's degree. Education is a big thing in our family. But this is about focusing 100% on basketball. You can always go back to college, but there's only a short window as an athlete where you can play professional basketball, and I want to take advantage of that. Speak on it.
What you guys say about that, old Henry?
Looking at that decision, his dad and whoever advised him made the best decision. Looking at his scores, I think about athletes like Rashard Lewis. I'm from AB. He came out, I think, 1998. He went straight to the league. Kevin Garnett as well, and these guys were very successful. LeBron James, he did not go to college, but he's very successful in all the business endeavors he's actually doing. But you look at Zion. Zion actually almost had the chance of getting hurt. And when you go to college for that 1 year, you tear your ACL up, and you have an injury like Sean Livingston did, that changes the whole trajectory of your career. And you look at this as an investment, and he has the skill set to be talented, so why go there college for 1 year? Like Ben Simmons didn't really go to class after the first semester. So why waste your time in that process and getting caught up with the NCAA when you can just go somewhere else, get more experience, and play against better talent and come back stronger and focus and be free?
Better talent than playing for in the NCAA?
You might go against better talent and learn.
Not in the Australian league.
You never know.
I know.
Yeah, never.
Not in Australia. But it gives him a chance on capitalizing on his talents right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's the very important thing about it, because the NCAA, everybody said they've been capitalizing on these guys' talent. He said, okay, if somebody gonna get paid off my talent, it's gonna be me. So he decided to go and they're gonna try to parlay a shoe deal for him, and I'm excited for him and his parents. I just want it to be successful. So guess what? Other guys in the next year or so, because in a couple of years, if you don't want to go to college, you don't have to go. They're gonna change. They're working on changing that rule. So he just accelerated the process. You got to think about it. He was 11th grader first. He classed up so he can can go to college. But then he changed his mind. He said, okay. He played in the summer league in the EYBL for one session. He said, man, I've done enough. I'm ready to be a pro. And everybody thought, why he didn't keep playing? They had a plan. And their plan was to get him to be a professional athlete as soon as possible. And that's what he wanted to do. That's his vocation is basketball. Two intelligent parents, college educated parents. Hey, you're all right. You're gonna be great.
Hopefully he gets drafted by the Knicks. So.
You like the Knicks?
That means Knicks got to get.
You like the Knicks? Me too. We got something coming.
And so I'll give you some more from R.J. Hampton and his conversation and his thought. I'm just wanting to make the decision to play basketball professionally the upcoming season in New Zealand. Okay, this team, right, that he's going to. Understand, this is not the bottom of the barrel. They're not the New York Knicks of their league. They've won 4 titles in the past 9 years, right? And he's just not going there to be a project. Remember now, when what's my young man from the Oklahoma City? Terrence Ferguson. Mm-hmm. Terrence Ferguson went overseas to Australia. He was played sparingly for the most part. He wasn't, they knew he was coming over just to be a reserve. This team is saying that R.J. Hampton is going to be a feature piece in their lineup initially. That's a huge difference. They're not going through now. Also about this team, former NBA and former Dallas, a guy who lives in Dallas, Sean Marion, is one of the co-owners of this team. And it means so you can connect dots and think about, and RJ goes and he mentions that during the season he went to about 10 Mavericks games and he watched Luka Doncic, right? And who came from internationally and will probably be named Rookie of the Year in a couple of weeks. And he watched this young man. He didn't go to college. He's about to get Rookie of the Year. When he came over here, his skill set, he's not the fastest. He's not the most athletic. He's not the highest jumper. Guess what? He knows basketball, and he came over here from playing against grown men. And this is one of the things that that R.J. Hampton and his family is using as Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C as to making their decision. At the end of the day, he has to ball.
Oh yes.
At the end of the day, And the thing is, you look at it, 1 year ago, that was a young man from Texas who was projected to go, R.J. Hampton is projected to go number 6. You know, that's right now. He's projected number 6 according to the ESPN mock draft for 2020. 1 year ago, let's go back in the time capsule. There was another young man from Texas who was projected to go between 6 and 8 or in the top 10 in the NBA draft. He went to college. Right now, he's not even projected to get drafted. That's Quentin Grimes. So now you look back on it.
Should Quentin have did the same thing then?
Quentin had the opportunity to. This is the thing, you look at it. And so for that alone, I'm a proponent of student athletes getting paid by whatever. And first and foremost, the easiest solution is by their likeness, by their names and whatnot. But that's just a start because of how much money you're shelling out to the head coaches and the staffs. It's almost like you're thumbing your nose at the situation. The contracts are inflating on coaches. And these kids, guess what? If they gave a clause to say to student athletes, I picked this up over the weekend, and it would say, if some student athletes had the option to pay their own way, but can get, and in return, they paid their own way, they get whatever they want. No violations. They can do whatever they want to do. Guess what? You know what would happen? The halves at the top of the food chain.
Jim, how many people gonna be able to pay their own way? How many top athletes gonna be able to pay their own way?
Well, you know what? Understand something. Think about how many athletes we're talking about in this equation in the first place, year to year.
Yeah, but how many of them can be able to pay their own way?
Yes.
But they gonna get a loan?
Every single one of them.
They gonna get a loan?
Because
where they gonna get the money from?
But somebody will front the
guess
money.
what? Then they gonna so you be indebted to somebody no matter what then.
But at least they have the opportunity to go and raise that back with their earnings. Think about it. Okay, if I'm going to University of Texas, I don't have to pay out-of-state fees. I'm going to U of H. I don't have to pay out-of-state fees. So now I can go and get whatever I get is gravy, and I'm a student of U of H. I mean, let's give you an example about those living in Texas, or SMU, or TCU, or Baylor, or A&M.
So what a U of H player gonna get? Tell me what he gonna get.
What do you mean?
If he great.
If he's great,
what he gonna get?
Let's go back to the Alton Ford days. If it was an Alton Ford, rest in peace, Alton Ford, coming along, and they wants to go and get. Remember, what's the guy named with the Brooklyn Nets? What's my name? Jared Allen. He almost went to U of H. They were finalists. He can pay his own way.
But what he
get his own bread.
What are you gonna get his bread? ChopShop, we'll be back in a minute. I'm just trying to say.
Where you gonna get his bread?
Where his bread
the same person who's going to give him an endorsement deal. Think about it. You get to get all your endorsements. So that means your endorsement deal is going toward, that check is going directly to pay your tuition. And then that means after your...
How you gonna get an endorsement deal, but your team wearing this shoe?
Not sneaker endorsements. They got all type of endorsements. Remember, they
want to... Give me another endorsement. Give me another endorsement.
Autographs. Endorsements. Autographs.
But then the player card ain't that great. That deal ain't that great.
Zion Williams player card wouldn't be that great?
That's what I'm saying.
But there's only that many each year. It's only that year. How many people in this draft would actually be able to go and get endorsement? Remember, Ja Morant.
So you gonna do all of this? You gonna do all this just for a couple of players?
No, it's a broad rule. It wouldn't even hurt the NCAA. Because know what? It wouldn't even hurt at all. Now you're just giving the freedom though for them to do so. Who's gonna capitalize on it? 5 people around the country every year.
So all of this rule gonna be for this 5.
But what is it costing them to do that? What is it costing the NCAA to do that? Now just take a deep breath.
So you gonna go pay somebody's tuition. In turn, you gonna go get them some endorsements.
Well, no. I'm giving them. They signed an endorsement deal simultaneously.
No, I'm talking about
Hell, you're not realizing.
No, I'm listening to it.
Only that person that would take that deal.
That ain't happening, man.
What do you mean?
That ain't good. That ain't good business. Just to me. But you know it all. I'm just saying, to me, a person who's been in this business this long, that's not good. That's not good.
What part is not
That's not
good?
good.
If
That's
they
not
gave
good.
you the option to get all the money you
I wouldn't
get,
do it.
if
And
you
I
paid
just-
your own tuition,
No, I wouldn't.
that mean take their scholarship. You see, that's the thing you're saying. That means if you can't do it and there ain't no benefit you, then don't take the deal. You take your scholarship. But if you want to, you can go this route and take this and pay your own
And
way.
y'all, that is not my advice. Let y'all know that.
Dude, I'm telling you. You think about
That
okay,
is not
what
mine.
does it hurt?
Oh, I got you. I tell you, Joy. I tell you. Nah, Jimmy.
No, what does it hurt? There's not nothing. There's not nothing they're taking away
Jimmy,
from
we
you.
trying, Jimmy, we trying to do something. We trying to do something bigger than that. If I'm a student athlete, I'm just, that's not what I'm gonna do.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
that-
gonna sit here and get them crumbs.
Okay,
I'm
but
not-
saying,
I'm just not a
so
crumb
that means you don't
snatcher.
have to do it. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah, you don't have
It's
to.
not like it's an
I'm just
option
saying.
to the norm. What you're going to add, they added that as an option. If you want to do this, then you can pay your own way and do what the hell you want to do. Get you all your bread you want. Now, if you sign the scholarship, you're bound by the letter of intent.
Hey, Keisha. Stop. Your turn, Jimmy. I'm gonna give me a 4.0 and give me some education. Give me a scholarship to bring them in.
21 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour. Got live in the studio. Henry Kakula, 4.0 GPA. Man, tell us something about 4.0 GPA and what have you been doing over the past couple of months, Henry?
We just have been working with school districts and helping students get that score and then get that full ride, student athletes, so to make sure they get the actual ACT score, SAT scores, so they be able to be straight with their education.
So basically, in a nutshell, you identify people coming to you that need help with what?
With preparing for college, SAT, ACT scores, making sure they get scholarships, making sure they get into the right program that's going to be best for them and helping them pick the correct career. Not just kinesiology, but the correct career that they can monetize off of.
Why not kinesiology? Because it's not easy. Explain that, because I see a lot of people with that on their thing. Why not? Explain that. Please help my viewers out.
It's real easy for a college program athletic director to say, I'm going to put everyone in kinesiology and push them through the easy way for everyone to graduate and make it to Steady Hall on time. And that's what they're focused on. So they can be
No labs. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay.
But you have to look at it. Kinesiology, probably you get about maybe 36, 45 if you're lucky to become a teacher certified.
Okay.
But you have
So
all
that's a teacher. So that's the only thing you can do with that degree. What else you can do with that degree?
Training, want to be physical training.
Oh, okay. Some of the trainers all right now.
Yeah, it's it. All right, IG basketball trainer. and
Okay. Okay. All right.
And
IG. Wait a minute. Instagram basketball trainer. What did you say?
You-
Instagram. That what you mean? IG. Come on, Henry. Henry said IG basketball trainer. But keep going. Keep going.
he was shooting slugs out there.
Yeah, that was a slug. Yeah.
And so now, how do you identify these students? Do they have to be a certain GPA already? Do they have to have a certain income with their family? Who qualifies, or who's the prototypical student that can benefit from you?
It's anyone. We have programs where it's not based off of income, so we make our prices affordable for everyone. So we try to target students as early as 6th grade, because the process starts as early as 6 all the way through 12. And normally we have a lot of workshops, and we have some services that are paid, and we provide free workshops. And we have one coming up as well on the 20th that's going to be free to also show parents in the Houston area how to get a free education. But we have a one-on-one college counseling package. And then we also offer tutoring where we come to your house. So we have math and science teachers, English teachers that go to your house and tutor you.
So you go to the house.
Yes, sir.
So now, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 3 years now.
What's the results? Shoot me some numbers, some stats out there.
Just looking at reviews, we had a lady recently, her name, Kimberly Williams, she wrote a great review. Her son needed a certain score to be able to go to the next level and play college to be eligible. And he actually was in our program for a week, and his ACT scores went up about 3 to 4 points.
In 1 week.
In 1 week.
What the hell are you doing in 1 week to make somebody's ACT score go up like that?
When you get personalized coaching from top certified math teachers that pay attention to your weaknesses, your scores will go up.
I got a question though. Lionel Gar on the Facebook page, he asked a question. does he make, do you make scholarship promises to parents? Like some of these AAU basketball coaches and assistant coaches?
No, nothing. We would never do that. That's unethical. And when you look at the scandal that just came around, we don't make those type of promises to say you're going to get into this school or you're going to receive this amount of scholarship. No.
Are you talking about with the actresses with the big scandal?
And we
the
have,
Yale scandal. I call it the Yale scandal.
And we have customers like that come to us and say, if we pay you $50,000, can you guarantee that my child will get into this school?
So what'd you tell them?
So I can't make promises, but I can do my
I'll
best.
take that $50,000, but I ain't gonna make no promise. Okay, say no more. Say no more. But not, what if you want to be? But see, that's different because they wanted they used athletics as a vehicle to get their kid. Because sometimes, most time with these top schools like Yale and stuff, they have a certain little area, but athletes got another little track that they go through.
Yes.
So they had like little girl they never rode before in her life. Took a picture in a rowing machine, on a rowing machine, and you know, can't play soccer, but they took a picture like she's playing soccer. So I think that's where a lot of the fraud went in, because they used the athletic department. You know, I didn't even know Yale had an African American coach. No, African American soccer coach. I know they got an African American basketball coach, James Jones, but they got an African American soccer coach, and he got fired. He was in the middle of that scandal because, you know, young girl, rich girl, you know, said she wanted to play soccer. Wanted to go to Yale, you know, and that's what happened. So this is a whole different. You trying to get them academically.
Yes.
Got nothing to do with sports.
No.
Academically eligible at 4.0 GPA to get them in college.
And the great thing about it, when you mention sports, a lot of coaches look at GPAs.
Yes. Okay.
So you can't just be nice on the court. You need to have a diversified portfolio.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to show parents and help them get there, is that your kid can actually go to an AAU tournament and drop 30, 10, but if their GPA is like a 2.1, it's not going to do anything for them.
You're wasting time.
Wasting time.
Spinning your wheel. You know, I got another question, Jimmy, before Jimmy come in. I got, you used to be on our show about months ago.
Yes.
What has changed? What have you learned since you first came on our show? Because to me, you seem to be different. You got a different air about yourself right now. You know, and I've been seeing your awards and stuff since that. But tell me what has happened. Tell me what has changed. Is it anything changed? Are you doing something different? What's going on since we first had you on the show?
Since the first time you had me on the show, it's just that now our team is bigger. So we're starting to understand that a lot of parents in our culture are procrastinating, and we starting to understand that people will come to you at the end, 12th grade year, trying to make things happen. But now we have found a blueprint to see why other students in the Asian community, they're so successful. We understand the background and how to bring that to African American community, and we're able to see those results. But the biggest thing I have noticed since the first time I have came on your show is that parents will want to actually come to you when it's like May, April, and they're trying to get that late offer to go to a school, a D3 school, and they want to make a miracle happen.
So how do we change that? Now, trust me, I empathize with you. I understand exactly what you're talking about. I get those phone calls every year for the past 19 years when parents will call in after the senior season is over with. Start getting those calls March, April, May, and want you to pull a rabbit out of your hat. So, and you know that. So how can we attack that at an earlier and get those parents to get on board and understand at an earlier point in their son or daughter's high school career?
It's looking at the indicators early on. It's the red flags. When you start looking at 7th, 8th grade, right then and there, your kids are struggling in certain areas. That's the time to say that I'm going to invest $50 an hour in a tutor to bring that kid up in that weakness area before it gets too late. When you start looking at they're struggling on STAR tests and not meeting that requirement, it's okay to let them play AAU basketball, but also make sure they have that private tutor. And then when they go on these trips, Vegas, make sure they have that book in their backpack. And that's something that we're trying to get more parents to do, more coaches to do, is have that awareness.
Booking back. You know what I was telling people the other day? and I think it just went over, you know, I don't know if they received it or not, but I got this thing where, you know how you try to pay people to clean up your room, pay your kids to coat motor yard? No, you live here too. You gonna clean up your room, you gonna clean up, I'm not paying you for that. But what I would pay you for, how many books you read. I pay you. You read a book, I pay you. You want some money, read a book. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you got to do that younger. I mean, you're paying. Well, mama, if I wash the dishes, no. You read a book, I got you.
And that's the biggest thing. We have a lot of summer programs that's free with STEM, and it's all free information. I know Mr. Hicks posted it last time, and that's why we're making our events in the summer, a lot of them free, so everyone can have that exposure. So it's no excuse.
So what happens in the events in the summer? How much time do you spend with it?
In events in the summer is breaking it down to parents so they can be able to understand in an hour session, 2-hour session, exactly what's needed for them to be successful with Blueprint. And we're showing them things that counselors will not explain to them, as far as the classes they need to take, programs they're able to qualify for, and how they can qualify for free scholarships. And that's something that's major that a lot of parents do not know. Even though your kid may get a full ride to play somewhere, that you still should be able to get private scholarships. It's going to be refunded back to you.
And so Henry Kakula is live with us in the studio, just tuning into the Chop Shop with 4.0 GPA. And this young man is based in Houston, and he basically would go out and help your son or daughter increase that SAT or ACT score. He would go ahead and help find scholarship monies for them. Is it too late for the seniors who just graduated?
It's pretty much probably 3 or 4 scholarships open, and it's kind of late. Yeah, pretty much if you just graduated.
So the class of 2020,
yes,
it's ripe season for those right now.
Yes.
And 2021, 2022.
It's right, but it's almost late too then. So the class of 2022 and 21 need to be calling you like yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have a free event. I just posted it right now in the link down below. But it's free, and everyone can actually sign up. And it's a free opportunity, and we're located in the Gallery of Lawn.
And that's on June the 20th.
Yes.
Right? In the evening time, and that's from 6 to 7 p.m. in the Galleria. You're having secrets to getting college scholarships, right?
Yes, sir.
We gotta pack that place out.
That's on June the 20th.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have free giveaways.
We gotta pack that place out.
So give us one tidbit of what they can get, what they're gonna get from that. That's free.
Yes, free.
Give us something. Give us one thing.
We're gonna give them scholarships that they have a high probability chance of obtaining.
Would you give them like a evaluation, right? Quick eval, and say, you know, where are you at now?
Yes, I'll do that too, and I might even, if I get at least 50 people to sign up today, I would chunk in an extra $500 scholarship.
Hush your mouth.
Henry, you going to that bag today, huh?
Hush your mouth, Henry.
Get that, hey, make it rain in, Henry. We'll be right back on the Chop Shop.
Man, you're coming on here.
Oh, is the link working? Or it didn't show up right now?
Yeah, he working. Yeah, sign into that.
I just pinned it up.
Yeah, it's working. It's working.
Okay.
You done did this before, Henry.
You got to share your show, Henry, so that way you.
Yeah, Henry, what you got? Oh, yeah, I got you, Henry, right there. Hey, man, y'all, hey, we need to pack this thing out. Now, if y'all super smart and all that, it's all good. We ain't talking about you. But if you trying to get one of these scholarships about us,
Herb, that English 3B right at the borderline. You better get your slapper ready.
yes, ma'am, you right. Starting 5, Henry.
Slim McDaniel, what's going down?
Hey, man, Lil Rick. Is Lil Rick still on there? Lil Rick.
Thought he was in jail.
Rick, no, I see why Lil Rick be in Facebook jail. Look, Rick, you be posting some, oh my goodness. You can't post that kind of stuff on, man, I be, oh, look, Rick, say it ain't so. Man, you can't be posting that kind of stuff on Facebook. Oh, Henry Cocola in the building. Yeah, Henry, you got a different swagger, man. When you a little nervous when you first came in a long time. Boy, you got this thing down right, Bob.
After going on national TV a couple times.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm seeing the growth.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
I told a little basketball player today. I said, I ain't seen you in a month. When I see you in the next month, you better be doing something better. You can't be doing that same stuff you were doing a month ago. See, a lot of people don't, man, he had 30 points, but he's doing the same thing he did when I saw him a month ago. I don't want to see it. No, you got to be progressing every time. See, Andy Fobb's trying to build his culture out there. He's trying to build his culture out there. He told his parents already. He emailed his parents already. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Haddon, alongside Jim Hicks, and our special guest, Mr. Henry Kakuya of 4.0 GPA. Boy, I got that thing right. Yeah. What's going on, Jimmy? What we got? We're gonna still talk about what we got.
We got, of course, Henry Kakula's live in studio, and this is some good stuff right here. But
stuff.
the thing is, we want to pull back layers and just get to it. Why are so many parents reluctant on treating the academic part in such taboo fashion? Like, they don't want you to know that their son is failing and needs help. And these are the parents. Now, are these parents that are falling into that description, are they non-college educated probably themselves?
Some of them, it's a good mixture. A lot of them do have college degrees. And so it's not pretty much based on their importance and value on what do they value more? The contract, going pro, or is it education? And it's not about finances either.
It's not what you mean?
It's not about finances. Like, I never have come across a parent that have told me, say, I do not have enough money to pay for these services. So it's not about money.
No, it's not.
Everyone gets income tax checks. And if you don't have the resources, there are programs, you get income tax check refunds. So people have the money. Because if someone told them,
they might got something to do with that income tax refund.
Yes, sir.
They might have something else to do.
Like what?
Well, you know how that
and prom season just came out too.
You know how the people act with that. Boy, that thing was gone before it get there.
But these are some strategies that people in our community need to take advantage of. When you get your refund checks, take 25% and put that towards education. That's where they add value.
At what grade of the kid are you talking about applying this to? And just for example, if the student is in what grade, should they start applying the 25% of the refund check?
I would say as early as 3rd grade. Because your kids should be able to have other talents as far as coding, being able to build an app, a software, violin, piano, something else. That's going to help them in math. People don't understand your kids know how to play piano, their scores going to go up.
And so now, this past weekend, you have some numbers, Haddon, that you discovered about the wealth. So we're talking about this stuff, and a lot of people, if nothing else, what happened 2 weeks ago when Robert Smith went in and was receiving an honorary doctorate at Morehouse, he announced that he was going to wipe the slate clean of all of the graduates from their debt. Right, it's estimated at 40 million. And so Haddon went and dug up some numbers to apply to that. And meanwhile, as you pull them up,
No, I got it. I'm just gonna go. Oh, you wanna go through the, starting five? Let's do the starting five right quick and I have it for you.
and so, as you
You
get
got
ready,
it?
it is that time of day for the starting five. And we
You
give
can
our
understand
collective
that
starting
now.
five. And our starting five is the first 5 viewers who log on to the Chop Shop at the top of the show. We recognize and acknowledge you guys every day and show our appreciation by giving you a little office cred, work cred, car cred if you're in the car, and home cred if you just happen to be at home lounging. And without further ado, these are collectively our starting five for the day. Lionel Gordon, Darrell Anderson, Rick Wilmore, Todd Holmes, and Kevin Drum. And of course,
Kevin Drum.
that's Kevin Drones.
Yeah, I missed
yeah, we saw him in the gym this past
Yeah, saw him
weekend.
in the
Kevin
gym.
Drones. Round out the starting five. And guys, you too can be one of the starting five. Simply log on to the Facebook feed. We call it the Boom Boom Room at the top of the show. Now,
Yeah. And Jimmy,
we're talking about depth.
yeah.
And this goes into this stuff. A lot of people they just won't take out the time to invest in the education properly and do the homework that can minimize debt. And by minimizing the debt, this past weekend, I was at a picnic when I got back into town. And there's a young lady who's going off to college. And as they were, and it was a great little cookout, folks always got a reason to cook out since she's leaving in a couple of weeks. So her brother got up and did a speech. And during the speech, saying how long he's gonna miss his sister, his little sister. And a couple of years back when he came out of high school, the grandmother and the family all contributed to in their variation of a mutual fund to help him go to college. It is passed along for every one of the grandkids. They all, I don't know the details of it, but I'm guessing they might have been 10 people might have donated a couple of thousand or 1,000 apiece, and that comes up with their fund. This little girl did not know of the fund, what it was going to be. They opened up and announced they gave her $30,000. This is a 12th grade senior. That family had went in and reached into the cup and donated and rallied around each other and granting her with a $30,000 check that's going to go into an account and take care of some of her out-of-state and other expenses to help erase debt. And the reason that $30,000 is magical, and I'll explain to you why it's so magical for Hal to come in. The graduates from the class of 2019, right? This is from CBS News, have an average student debt of load of about $33,000. That's the average, right? They gave her 30 grand. That's probably calculated, and then ironically, it goes right in. The new graduates, understand, it's expected to be about 2 million college graduates this year nationwide with an average debt of $33,000.
A lot of money.
So how can we have to get ahead of the curve?
And Jimmy, it's not. Think about what happened with Bob Smith, Robert Smith. You saw what happened, right? With the Morris guy. But what I would, I thought it was a great thing. But what I would implore the guys is that class. But that particular class would be spending about $2 million a year servicing that debt that they no longer have to pay for. That particular class would have spent about $2 million per year. So that's a roughly of saving of each student, because it's 400 students, $5,000 per year. Okay? So this is what I was thinking about. Here, here's what all of them 400 guys need to do. If y'all know one of them, this is what all 4 of them need to do with that $5,000. 80% of the companies in America, they have some kind of tax deferred savings program, okay? Retirement plan, otherwise known as a 401k. Chances are that the company you're going to will have one. These 400 guys I'm talking to, they need to put that $5,000 I was telling you about into one of those plans a year. instead of spending it, instead of doing, because they was gonna have to pay it back if he hadn't came in and gave that money, servicing the debt, right? So guess what? So on an average, the company matches usually 4%, many of much more. So what that means, when you put in that $5,000 now, okay, that company you work with would put in another $2,000 on top of that, because they're percentage wise. And so $5,000, that will equate to $7,000 a year that goes into your retirement program. You don't have to pay taxes on that initial $5,000 that you would have been paying. You don't have to pay taxes on it, right? So that's roughly gonna save you what, $1,250 a year. So guess what? That goes in the plan, because you're gonna put that in the plan. So you got $8,000 a year that you can save. If you do that for 40 years, right? And most of them guys 21 years old. That means when they 61 years old, that small investment would be worth $1 million to each guy. So that means 400 of them, $1 million. That means they had $400 million worth of wealth, and he invested 40 million in them. 40 million into 400 million, just by doing that simple thing right there. But Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute with Henry Kaku.
So the loops. So they say the loop started from the beginning. That's why all of the things is flicking the
It just ain't powerful. What is it then?
What it means good.
There's various
Something's going on. That signal was strong.
We seen it yesterday what it looked like when it wasn't strong.
Yeah. That signal was strong.
I'm saying, are you reading some of them what they're
I
saying?
know.
I ain't read it. I ain't
Yes.
get it.
Different people saying what it's been doing.
Okay.
I know.
How's it doing on YouTube? You looked at it on, I couldn't find it.
Sent you the link.
Oh, you did? Okay, thank you. Thank you, baby.
I put it in
Thank
group.
you, little sis. Well, that's my song there, man.
Did y'all go to Dallas last weekend too?
Yeah, what did that? And your body close to mine. Yeah. Somebody said, yes, sir. Kate Cunningham is the #1 player in the country on YouTube. Let's see outside. Yeah. It looks pretty good over there. Is yours freezing a little bit?
I'm watching them in the comments. I hadn't been watching the screen.
Oh, I ain't seen it.
So that's the difference. Oh yeah.
Oh, that did me like that.
That's what they talking about. It's
It did me like that.
refreshing,
Took me
taking me back to
Oh, it did?
yeah. So that's definitely.
But no, it took me here then. It might take me back to that. I was doing like that at first. Y'all check it out. Somebody let me know how it is on Facebook, on YouTube.
I just dropped the link inside for a free consultation. So
Okay.
anyone
Drop them, Henry. Who y'all got winning in the finals? I know who I got. The babyface assassin. Jimmy, good job.
49 minutes past the hour to Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Oh, man, we got live in the studio.
What's in your cup?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking right now. I'm crawfished out.
You want to lay some on there, yeah.
Well, I mean, we got at the buzzer at the last minute. There
At the
wasn't no
buzzer.
time for you to get there.
Okay.
Because we didn't know if it was going to be live and Memorex,
Yeah, you know I-
You know, and so, but it was indeed all right. It was indeed all right. Kerry, on June the 20th, you're reaching out to a lot of the families around the greater Houston area to invite them out for a free event, a free
FREE.
workshop, to help them secure, minimize costs for college,
Yes.
right?
And this event normally goes for $250 a seat, so I'm giving it out for free.
And then
Wow.
you just went on on our Facebook page. You guys go to Facebook, type in ChopShopHTX, right? And you just posted an additional scholarship or coupon. What you just do?
Free consultation. You can drop by our office in the Galleria, bring your transcript, and advice on what you need to do to make sure you're on the right pathway to success.
And
I believe.
it's a great thing. We applaud your efforts. How many people are doing what you're doing in the state of Texas?
There's a lot of people doing it, but they don't look like me.
Really?
That's the issue.
So their market share and a lot of people in the greater Houston area are going to those people.
Yes.
So what do you have to do to get some of those clients?
The thing about it is that